after the, like last week, we discussed up to the time there was flood. So after the flood, Nuh alayhi salam and his followers, all those Muslims, although they were not many, but whatever Muslims were there, were saved along with Nuh alayhi salam, and they settled in their land after the flood water receded. Now there was no idolaters, idol worshippers left. There were pure Muslims, and they established a pure Islamic society according to Tawheed and Deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? So, there were all those idols they used to worship the people before, those idols were also destroyed. But then, the next messenger who came was Ibrahim alayhi salam. So when Ibrahim alayhi salam came, the society was once again worshipping not only idols, but they were also worshipping stars, sun, moon, and these kind of things. The question is, if there was a pure Islamic society after Nuh alayhi salam in that locality, in that area, in those people, so only Muslims were left, and there was no signs of idolatry left. So where did the idols came later on? How did people started worshipping idols afterwards? What happened? And as we discussed before in case of Nuh alayhi salam, that the Nuh alayhi salam's case was very similar, because Adam alayhi salam and his children, his family, they were Muslims. Adam alayhi salam was a prophet of Allah. He was guided by Allah himself, and they were the only thing human beings knew at that time was Tawheed. But even then, slowly, gradually, people deviated from Tawheed, people deviated from Islam, and they started worshipping idols. So when Nuh alayhi salam came, they were worshipping idols. So exactly the same thing happened here. And at that time, when we were covering the story of Nuh alayhi salam, we discussed that this change happens gradually. It doesn't happen at once. It happens gradually, little change at a time, step by step. You know, that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us that we should never follow the footsteps of shaitan, because that's how shaitan makes us commit shirk. He makes us take a little bit one step, a small bid'ah, one way. Bid'ah is any new practice, which was a new kind of belief, or new kind of ideas. So, in the matters of religion, we discussed that bid'ah in detail previously. So, just remember, the bid'ah is only in the matters of deen, in the matters of beliefs, in matters of the views people have. It is not about the tools people use to practice different things in their life. So what happens is, shaitan makes people, convinces them that, there's nothing wrong if you do things a little differently. If you have a little different belief in Allah or His Messenger or in hereafter or in taqdeer or in something. So he just makes people to deviate a little bit. So people accept it as normal, doesn't matter, it's a small thing, it is not material. So next step, he then takes them and makes them little bit more go, little deviating from this way or that way. And slowly and gradually, over many generations, people don't even realize that they have left Islam, they have deviated away from Islam, and they have started doing un-Islamic things. That's how slowly, gradually, shaitan make people invent idols and start worshipping them. So the same process happened again. Now, usually, what happens in the case of invention of idols, there is always some pious personality behind it. So people want, so and so was so pious, and we are not as good, so maybe that person, if we make a dua through that person, Allah will listen to us. Or maybe if when we are worshipping him, we think about him, then we will have a better khushu and hudu in our worship, or this or that. So slowly, that idea catches on, and they make things happen, and slowly they invent idols for them. And initial idea is that okay, idols will help us focus, and it's only idol. We are not worshipping the idol. It's just a symbol of the person who we want to intercede for us to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So our du'as are accepted. Allah is kind to us. Allah is merciful. All these kind of excuses. And few generations later, people don't even remember that this was just supposed to be a point of focus, and they start worshipping the idols. So the same thing happened again, and you can imagine that in the time of Nuh alayhi salam, the people they had in their mind were different than at the time of Ibrahim alayhi salam. So their idols will be different as well. But in this situation, people had also worshipping sun, moon, stars, because they said, oh, these are wonderful things. Or maybe without sun, we can't have good agriculture. Our food won't be there. We won't have warmth. We will okay, so maybe this is something we should worship. So slowly, gradually, people started doing these things. So what is the point? The point is that wherever we are in the world, and whatever era we are living in, we should never let any bidah come into our midst. We should avoid bidah in all costs, because small buddhas which people think they are good things, they are inventing something, doing something good, but it turns, Shaitan uses them to invent shirk and makes people commit shirk. So that's what happened from the Nuh alayhi salam's time to Ibrahim alayhi salam's time. Now you can imagine, this cannot happen quickly. It happens slowly over many generations. And it cannot happen in the life of the messenger. So if, for example, the remaining life of Nuh alayhi salam, when he's alive, he won't let anybody worship any idol. Right? He won't. He will not tolerate it. He won't even tolerate small bidah, not to speak of the idols. But the point I want to mention here is, if you look at Bible, because the Bible gives the genealogy that okay, Adam's son was named this, and his son was this, and Nuh had 3 sons, and they had those sons, and then coming to Ibrahim alayhi salam. So a lot of Muslims, when it comes to genealogy, they take the information from the Bible. I keep warning them that never do that, because Bible is totally wrong. It totally does not make sense, and we should not take any information from the Bible. So I'll tell you one small thing here. According to the Bible, if you put the genealogy and their ages, what we find out that Ibrahim alayhi salam was born 60 years before Nuh alayhi salam died. Does it make sense to you? That Nuh alayhi salam is alive, and people will be worshipping idol, and now Ibrahim alayhi salam comes. So it's totally ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. So we should be warned. Any scholar, there are a lot of Muslim scholars who take, without thinking, they take the information from the Bible and they start talking and reporting it. We should avoid that, because Bible is absolutely illogical, invalid information, and we should not take any information from the Bible when it comes to the religious matters. We should be happy with whatever Quran tells us. If there was whatever information Quran has provided, if there was any benefit in other information, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would have mentioned that information as well. If Allah didn't mention that information, it means we didn't need that. It was not good for us, and we should not chase it from trying to pick up from here or from there. Okay? So that's one point I wanted to make. Quickly, the other point I want to make is that when Ibrahim alayhi salam was born and he grew up, so he saw his society worshipping idols, which they make with their own hands, and they start worshipping them. Doesn't make sense to him. Didn't make sense. That what is this? This is inanimate, lifeless thing. It was a stone, a piece of wood. We carved it, painted it, put some fragrance, and now we are worshipping it. What is this? This is nonsense. We should not do it. Now guess what was that age when Ibrahim thought in that manner? What was Ibrahim's age at that time? Yes. 11? So he was a teenager, because when the physical changes happen among teenagers, you will find that they start questioning everything in the society. And this is by design, which Allah has done it. Because before people become baligh, because people become adults from Islamic point of view, Allah SWT wants those people that now you are going to be accountable for your beliefs and your actions and your behavior. So I want you to question everything society has taught you. So whatever you adopt now is your own faith, your own beliefs. So Ibrahim alayhi salam was going through that phase. So alhamdulillah, he had a good attitude. So he started questioning, then should I worship idols? And he says, no, that doesn't make sense. I'm not going to worship idols. So his question is that he's questioned the society. Society was worshipping star. So in Surah Anam, Allah reports that. So he looks at stars and says, okay, is that my God? No. This is another finite thing which rises and sets and it has beginning at its end. Cannot be God. The things which is created, the thing which is finite, the thing which rises and sets and is created and then it will be destroyed, cannot be God. The God has to be infinite, who has created everything. Same thing, question about moon, same question about sun. He rejected everything and he came to the conclusion, Inni wajjahtu wajha lillazi fatarus samawati wal ardi hanifan ma ana minal mushrikeen. Then I abandon everything of these natures. I just want to submit wholly and solely and exclusively to the Creator, one Creator who has created all these things, and He is infinite. So you can imagine, He taught us a very important lesson. The important lesson is that we should always think about Islamic faith rationally. We should always accept rational faith. If it doesn't make sense, we should not adopt it. And you can imagine, if all human beings take that approach, the whole humanity will become Muslims. Because whether it's Hinduism or Sikhism or Christianity or Judaism or Zoroastrianism or this or that, they will all, if they take a rational approach, they will find that their beliefs are irrational, and they will come to the rational faith that there is only one infinite creator of this universe, and they will come to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this was just now, because the way Holy Quran in Surah Al-An'am, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned this rational approach of Ibrahim alayhi salam. It mentions that Ibrahim saw the star and he says, oh, is my God? No, I don't like it. Or is the moon my God? No. So he discarded in that manner. So some people said, oh, Ibrahim alayhi salam saw these things and he said, this is my God. So either they assume that, oh, they come up with a story that Ibrahim alayhi salam, when he was born, there was a threat that he will be killed. So his parents put him in a cave. So he never saw sun, moon or stars. This is totally nonsense, baseless story. It has no value. It is, I'll give you an example. You know Newton, who theorized that there is gravity. Gravity pulls everything towards the earth, right? You know about gravity. How did he discover that? How did he come up with that idea? That he saw an apple falling and he started thinking and he concluded that there must be an invisible power which attracts takes the apple and pulls it towards it. So he came up with the gravity. Okay? Had he not ever seen something falling before? Or had he not seen an apple falling before? No. When people are reflecting upon something, so he was concerned about that. What is this? Why things fall? And he saw, so he was reflecting upon things, and he came up with the idea, oh, there must be an invisible force which is pulling them, and he named it gravity. So in the same manner, just take this example, that Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was normally living in the world, but now at this age, he was in thinking mode. He was reflecting. So that's he said, okay, is this God? Is that God? So he was going through the rational approach and coming to the conclusion, believing one creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we will stop at there this today, and we'll go to Kahoot unless there is some question. Yes, brother. Walaikum assalam. Yeah. So what happened is, you can imagine the way Surah Al-An'am mentions it. There is an order. So he thought about the star, and then actually Kawkab. Kawkab means planet, not even star. So because you know that Zohra was usually very bright, and people used to worship Venus. So he started from there, came to the moon, came to the sun, and then he said, Inni wajjahtu wajhiya lillahi. So after that, he started arguing with the people and giving them the dawah. So dawah didn't happen before. This was he still going through the logical process. He, even this starts with Atattakhidhu asnaman aleha. He started with his dad. So from idols to stars to moon to sun. So he went through a logical process, eliminated those, came with the conclusion to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then he started. Allah also chose him as his messenger, sent him the revelations, and he started giving the message of Islam to people. Yeah, as long as we understand that he was going through a logical, rational approach process of evaluating the beliefs of the society, then we are okay. Okay, so it will be useful to stay for the Kahoot, because some of the points will be clarified when we go through the Kahoot. Okay, go ahead.
Assalamu rahmatullah. Thank you to everyone joining us in person and on YouTube Live. The game pin should be on the screen, inshallah. 259-0306. So inshallah, if you can join as fast as we can begin.
Yes. Can brothers please come this way, so sisters want to come here.
Brothers, if you want, brothers, if you guys want, we'll leave this side for the ladies. If you mind, yeah, come this side, inshallah.
कोई नहीं, बैठ जाए अभी थोड़ी देर. या आ जाए, इधर आ जाए.
Okay, inshallah, we will begin shortly. So, as always, you can begin even as we start. The pin will be on the right corner of the screen, inshallah. So let's begin. Okay, so today's topic is from Nuh to Ibrahim. And I hope everyone is paying attention, because this is always directly related to the halaqah. So first question, the true or false question. So after the flood, Nuh alayhi salam and his followers established a pure Islamic society based on tawheed, justice, and excellence. So is this statement true or false?
So, mashallah, 12 people got it right, but 4 people got it wrong. As I mentioned in my introduction to the program, that after the flood, all the disbelievers, the idolaters were destroyed. So there was, in that area, there was a pure Islamic society consisting of only the Muslims who believed in Allah and Tawheed, and they were followers of Nuh alayhi salam, and you can say they were companions or Sahaba of Nuh alayhi salam.
Jazakallah khair, inshallah. So we're going to continue to move on. And I actually forgot to mention, we are playing for a prize for the top 3 spots, inshallah. So try to get your points and try to answer as fast as you can. This is a multi-select question, so there's more than one right answer. So when Nuh alayhi salam died, what kind of society did he leave behind?
Okay, so the red and blue answers are correct answers, because as I just mentioned, that they were all Muslims, and those Muslims who are in the life of the Prophet are usually called their Sahaba or their companions, and also that they were all practicing Islam and Tawheed. So that is the right answer. The other answer was, yeah, the that question that the, idols are not eliminated, as I mentioned in my introductory speech, that everything, all that was totally eliminated. There was nothing left. So they were all pure Muslims. So let's go forward.
Jazakallah khair. Okay, everyone ready? We will be continuing. Again, another true or false question. So when Ibrahim was born, his people were worshipping idols, the sun, the moon, and the stars. This question or this statement true or false?
Excellent. There 20 people got it right. But uh, once again, which was clarified that those people were worshipping, yes, idols and sun and moon and stars. And Ibrahim alayhi salam rejected all those beliefs and believed in Tawheed.
Jazakallah khair. Okay, moving on, inshallah. So, mashallah, Brother Yasser has the highest answer streak, 3 in a row. Okay, so next question. Multi-select, so more than one right answer. Were the gods of Nuh's people the same as the gods of Ibrahim's people? That's a very good question. Take your time, inshallah.
MashaAllah, 13 people got both answers right. And the other 3 or 4 people, I think it's self-explanatory. So, as I mentioned, that people invent idols on the basis of some personalities, and those personalities change during different periods. And also that they, at the time of Nuh alayhi salam, people were not worshipping sun, moon, and heavenly bodies. So, but at the time of Ibrahim, they were.
Khair. Okay, next question. Hopefully everyone's ready. So this question is, how did the Muslims of Nuh's era become the idol and star worshippers of Ibrahim's era? Focus on the question, inshallah.
Okay, just keep in mind that, as I mentioned earlier, there were no idols left, there were no idolaters left. So it cannot be that people had not forgotten. And also keep in mind that if Ibrahim alayhi salam was like, if we take that report that Ibrahim alayhi salam was born just Nuh alayhi salam died 60 years after Ibrahim. So how did that happen? That when he was born, there were idols. So this proves 2 things. One is that the Bible is ridiculous, that is not right. And the second thing is that those people who were with Nuh alayhi salam, they were sincere Muslims. Otherwise, Allah would not have saved them. So they could not have ever gone back and to the idols. So it is new idols which were invented, and all those new shirk by gradual, small bid'ahs by the instigation of shaitan.
Okay, Jazakallah khair. Next question, everyone's ready? MashaAllah, we have 6 players on a 3 answer streak. So MashaAllah, keep that up. The next question is, according to the Bible, Ibrahim alayhi salam was born 60 years before Nuh alayhi salam died. Does that make any sense?
MashaAllah, 19 people got it right. And we should always remember that, yes, some renowned scholars take information from the Bible, but that doesn't make it correct. And in the same manner, that remember, the Bible, the Torah, or the revelation from Allah which came to previous prophets like Ibrahim alayhi salam, Suhuf Ibrahim, they were from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But existing Bible has nothing to do with those revelations. This is some unknown people. Nobody even knows who wrote this Bible. And they just sat down and whatever they believed, they wrote it down because they think it was God inspired. So this was not revealed word. So we should always remember about the Bible, that the Bible is not like Quran. It's not a revealed word. Unknown writers, whatever they remembered from previous teachings of the prophets, whatever they had invented, whatever bid'ahs they had, whatever ideas they had, they just wrote it down and made it a book. So that is not the revelation from the Quran. The revelation of Quran was original revelation which came to Ibrahim alayhi salam and Nuh alayhi salam and other messengers, and we believe in that, but that doesn't exist anymore.
Allah khair. Hopefully that clarifies any confusion. So now next question, inshallah, hopefully everyone's ready. We have, mashallah, now 6 players on a 4-answer streak. Okay, so now on to the next question. So had Newton never seen anything or any apple falling to the ground before he saw the apple falling and thought of gravity? And we actually discussed this during the halaqah. Hopefully we have 100% answers.
I'm surprised that 3 people still got it wrong, but I think it's self-evident. We'll move forward.
Okay, inshallah, hopefully everyone's ready. Moving on. Okay, so Surah An'am mentions Ibrahim seeing the stars, the moon, and the sun. Was he raised in a cave that he never saw them before? This is kind of connected to the last question, so hopefully we don't make the same mistakes, inshallah.
Okay, I have explained it already a few times, so we'll just move forward. That this was that he went through a period of reflection when he was becoming a teenager and he was questioning the beliefs of the society. So Alhamdulillah, Allah guided him. He thought in the right manner, rationally, and he came to the conclusion that only Allah is infinite and one and unique, and that's the only entity we should believe in as our God, and that's the only entity we should be worshipping and obeying in our life, in every matter of our life.
Allah khair. Okay, next question. So we're on to the last 3 questions, so hopefully everyone can get their points now. So did Ibrahim commit shirk when he said to the stars, the moon, and the sun, "This is my Lord"?
Excellent. 21 people got it right, so we'll move forward.
Well, Bismillah. So last 2 questions. Hopefully everyone can get their points now. We have 3 questions in a row. Ahmed al-Bakri is back in the game. I don't know if he's here with us. Next question is, how old was Ibrahim when he went through this rational thinking process?
Okay.
An amazing job. Inshallah, hopefully that answers. So last question, inshallah. So everyone get ready. It's a true or false question. So the Quran has mentioned this episode to teach people that faith must be based on a rational approach. Is this statement true or false?
Okay, 4 people think that is false. But remember, if you just believe in something because your parents or the society believes, then you will not have a commitment to that faith, and you will be just accepting it and then making the wrong life decisions. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala appreciates only those people who come to Islam through rational thinking, just like Ibrahim alayhi salam did. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala presents Ibrahim alayhi salam as an ideal Muslim. Because he challenged the beliefs of the society, he took the rational approach, and he came to the right conclusion about one and only unique Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator. Otherwise, if he would not have taken the rational approach, he would be like everybody else. So Muslims must, in this society we are living in, that things are upside down. Why? Here, you talk to any Christian, you talk to any Hindu, you talk to any Sikh, you talk to anybody, and they will say that they believe blindly. This is my faith, I don't question it. That's what they will tell you. Once we had a session at University of Manitoba. I used to live in Winnipeg. And there we had a Muslim presentation and Christian presentation. The person who made Christian presentation, he was the dean of religious department in University of Manitoba. And when he described his belief, which doesn't make sense, so in the question answer period, I stood up and I asked him that you said this, and then you said this, and then you said this, and it doesn't make sense. They are all inconsistent, contradicting each other. He says, Ayub, I didn't say that my religion, my faith base makes any sense. That's my faith. It doesn't have to make sense. So this society is blindly following. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, no, don't be like this society. You should follow in Islam because Islam is the only religion which makes sense. However, when it comes to the practice, then these people question, oh, why should I pray? Why should I fast? Why should I not eat pork? Etc. etc. Allah says, no, you don't question my commands. When you have accepted it as my Lord, now I say don't eat pork. Whether you understand it or not, you don't eat pork. Your matter is finished now. You think rationally before you come to Islam. But once you come to Islam, you know that Allah's knowledge is perfect. You know Allah's wisdom is perfect. You know what He says is the best thing for us. So you don't question it. You just say, Amanna wa saddaqna, sami'na wa tu'ana. We believe and we testify. We listen and we obey. So we come to faith rationally and we surrender completely without any conditions. This society does the other way. They believe blindly, and then the Pope tells them that homosexuality is not legal. They say, oh, who are you to tell us that? So this society is upside down. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us the right thing. Believe rationally and then submit unconditionally to the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not like these people that they believe blindly and then they question the commands. Do you understand the difference? And inshallah, when we go further in the life of Ibrahim alayhi salam next week, I will demonstrate to you how the second part Allah proved through Ibrahim alayhi salam. So inshallah, we'll do that next week. So any questions, comments? Go ahead.
Jazakallah khair. And that concludes our Kahoot, inshallah. So we'll move on to our winners now. So for third place is Team FM, or brother or sister FM. So congratulations. Sister Noor, second place, and first place belongs to. Well, that was a good time to lag. Brother Yunus. Mashallah, congratulations to everyone. I hope most of them are with us, inshallah. If you are with us in person, feel free to come and collect your prize, inshallah. And if you're not, please feel free to also email me. I can put my who has come out, inshallah. Can I come, inshallah? MashaAllah, your father did a very good job today. First place, 11 out of 11. All questions right. So congratulations, inshallah. Taste it and enjoy it, inshallah. MashaAllah. Jazakallah khair for coming out. Thank you for everyone for coming out, inshallah. Also, a winner there? I'm sorry? Oh, you're Noor? Please come collect your prize, inshallah. Please, inshallah. Oh, sorry, I said Sister Noor. Brother Noor, inshallah. My apologies, inshallah. Congratulations, brother. May Allah bless you. Jazakallah khair. So again, next week, inshallah, we're on the same time, inshallah. We hope to see you all, and jazakallah khair for coming out tonight. Ma'as salama.